Good morning. Good morning, everyone. We're going to get started. Thank you, everyone, for being here. So we're going to get this kicked off right now. Distinguished delegates, representatives of member states, colleagues from the United Nations system, our hosts, the permanent mission of Nigeria to the United Nations, partners, and above all, the girls and the young women in this work exist for good day and welcome. My name is Ola Oluyinka. I serve as the Vice President of International Affairs of the DoTheDream Youth Development Initiative, and as the co-founder of the Girls in Energy Project. It is my privilege to moderate this official hlpf 2026 offsite event, Intersectionality as Economy, in which we're connecting SDGs 6, 7, 9, 11, and 17 for impact through local action and powering progress. We gather at a deliberate moment. The high-level political forum asks the world to account for its progress on the Sustainable Development Goals. Today, we offer an account rooted in local action, a framework built in Lagos, Nigeria, that treats intersectionality not as a lens applied after outcomes are measured, but as an economy in its own right, one with infrastructure, capital, and returns built through the lived pathway of girls moving into the energy sector. Over the next hour, you'll hear how the Girls in Energy Village, the Girls in Energy Industrial Village, and the Girls in Energy Fund work together as a single ecosystem. How that ecosystem connects clean water, clean energy, industry, sustainable cities, and partnership into one coherent value chain, and how this framework is advancing from Nigeria into Africa and onward into the wider global south. It is therefore my privilege as Vice President, International Affairs, and co-founder of Girls in Energy to formally declare open this hlpf 2026 offsite side event, Intersectionality as Economy. I invite every delegation, partner, and guest in this room to engage fully, question rigorously, and walk with us as we drive this framework into the next phase. With that, I am honored to hand over to our founder and executive director, Adebusui Olutayo Olumadewa, for the statement that anchors today's discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President, for that. Distinguished leaders, co-chairs, representatives, colleagues from the UN systems who are here, I can see you, and private sectors. Above all, girls, young men whose future anchor everything here today. I bring you greetings from Lagos, Nigeria, and from the growing community of practice we call the Girls in Energy Project. I speak to you today not to present a program, but to advance a course that intersectionality, properly designed, is not a lens we apply to development after the fact. It is an economy in its own right, one with inputs, outputs, infrastructures, and returns. This is the premise behind the framework we present here, intersectionality as an economy, connecting SDG 6, clean water and sanitation, SDG 7, affordable and clean energy, SDG 9, Industry, Innovation and Infrastructure, SDG 11, Sustainable Cities and Communities, and SDG 17, Partnership for Goals, into a single coherent engine of local action and shared progress. The Girls in Energy project was built on a single conviction that girls and young women are not beneficiaries at the emerging of the energy transition. They are its infrastructure. They are organized. We organize this conviction into three pillars ecosystem. Each pillar solving a distinct and practical problem in the pipeline that runs the girls' first exposure to STEM and to eventual seat at the table of the world's energy economy. The Girls in Energy Village, divided into conference, competition, career, camp, and communities. The Girls in Energy Industrial Village, divided into smart energy, green hydrogen, industrial decarbonization. This converts exposure into competence through structured apprenticeship, technical placement with oil and gas, renewables, power, and utilities partners. Built as a working environment, not a classroom simulations. Girls encounter real infrastructure, real safety protocols, and real production pressure. This serves as credentialing bridge between community learning, formal industry entry, closing the gender gaps employers most often cite. This is trained but not exposed. The Girls in Energy Fund, which happens to be the third pillar. This provides scholarship, seed grants, and catalytic capital so that talent identified in the villages is not lost to cost at the point of transition into industrial village or formal employment. Structured to blend philanthropy, corporate, and multilateral capital, treating girls' advancement as an investable asset class rather than a line item in corporate social responsibility. This anchors the long-term financial architecture that allows village and the industrial village to scale beyond single donor cycle or political time. The practical insight I offer delegation partners is this. None of the three pillars work in isolation. A village is without a fund produces awareness without access. An industrial village without village produces isolated placement without pipeline behind them. A fund without both simply becomes a scholarship product, disconnected from industry community. The Girls in Energy ecosystem only becomes an economy when all the three circulate together. This is where the framework ends the name. We do not treat SDG 6, 7, 9, 11, and 17 as five parallel goals that happen to share a stage. We treat their intersection as a productive asset itself, the place where value is actually created. Nigeria is where the framework was built, tested, and refined, not because the challenge is uniquely Nigerian, but because Nigeria's scale, energy sector depth, and youth population make it a rigorous proving ground. Our advice to partners considering replication in threefold. First, anchor before you scale. The village pillar must be genuinely community owned before an industrial village or fund is layered on top of it. Importing the industrial village or fund without local trust produces a program that looks credible on paper and collapses in practice. Second, sequence capital to flow proof, not promise. The fund should expand behind demonstrated placement. This is the path we now walk. Lagos into broader West African corridor. across the continental through our sister economies in East, Southern Africa, and to the wider community of global South nations who share Nigerian demography, the demographic weight, and its energy ambition. The destination is not Nigerian program with international observer. It's a global South-owned economy of girls in energy, of which Nigeria was simply the first proof of concept. No framework of this ambition is carried by one office or one country desk. I want to use this I want to use this platform to formally appreciate the individuals whose keen sight has shaped this next phase of the Girls in Energy project. To the President of Congo, Dr. Peter Petrisius, we thank you for your great support. To the Vice President, International Affairs, Ola Oluyinka, for the strategic clarity and institutional stewardship that has kept this project anchored to its mission, even as its scope has grown. To our global working committee, to our global working group, co-chairs, Atsi and Dr. Page, for the technical rigor and cross-border partnership judgment that gave the working group charter its credibility across sector and geographies. And to Titilayo, whose insight has been instrumental in shaping the framework you see presented here today. It is with their keen sight, with the trust of the delegations, partners, and communities gathered at the hlpf 2026 side event that we now drive Girls in Energy project into the next phase, from framework to funded infrastructure, from Nigeria to Africa, and from Africa to Global South. We invite you to walk this path with us. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you for those remarks. Appreciate it. So we're going to move on now, or we're going to go and take some statement from some of our distinguished guests here as we, getting started. And before we do that, I also want to acknowledge all of our guests that are present virtually right now. There's a lot of attendees, so we just want to acknowledge you as well. Thank you for joining. Without further ado, we're going to take some statement from our distinguished guests, either present or virtually as well. The first distinguished guest I'm going to invite for statement is Dr. Andres Bass. Please welcome Dr. Andres Bass for a statement.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here, and especially the one who's online, because a lot of them couldn't make it. They do it online. Excellencies, colleagues, and friends. When we hear the word intersectionality, many immediately think of gender, diversity, or social inclusion. While those dimensions are important, I would like to invite you to see intersectionality through a different lens. Intersectionality is not merely a framework for inclusion. It is the operating model of the emerging global economy. Today's challenges no longer exist in isolation, because water cannot be separate from energy, energy cannot be separate from climate, climate cannot be separated from food security, technology cannot be separated from education. And none of these can be separated from women, youth, local community, and public policy. A future economy will not be built in isolated sectors. It will be built on interconnected systems. This is why integration is no longer optional. It is an economy imperative. Every time we connect sectors, institutions, and communities, we multiply returns. Every time we invest in women and girls, we expand productivity, innovation, and resilience. Every time we empower local communities to lead solutions, we create assets that strengthen national economies and contribute to global prosperity. Intersectionality teaches us that development is not a collection of separate goals. It is a network of mutual reinforcement investment. $1 invested in clean water improves health because better health improves education. Education strengthens innovation. Innovations create jobs, reduce poverty, contributes to peace and social stability. That is not simply social progress. That is economy value creation. The Sustainable Development Goals were never intended to function as 17 independent objectives. They were designed as one integrated economy ecosystem where progress in one area accelerate progress across many others. As leaders, policymakers, and practitioners, our challenge is no longer to ask which SDG should we prioritize? How do we design policy that create value across multiple SDGs? Because the future belongs to countries, institutions, and community that understand one simple truth. Integration creates resilience. Inclusion creates productivity. Local action generates global impact. That is the economy of the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bass. And our next distinguished guest who's going to give a statement is President Jonas Sturka. Please come up for your statement.
Thank
President
you very
Jonas.
much. Thank you very much. I believe
Online, yeah.
hear me. Are you hear me very well?
Yes, we can.
We can hear you.
Okay, sounds good. First of all, good morning, good afternoon. I've been second time been here. In pleasure to be here. My name is Janos Stojko, founder and president for the World Roma Federation. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First, although I would like to thank you, organizer, for inviting me to speak today. It's an honor to join this important discussion on sustainable community and local development. Today, we are asking an important question. How can build communities that are modern, sustainable, and good for people? From the World Roma Federation point of view, the answer is simple. Technology is not enough. People must be at the center of the development. Every community already has in knowledge. People know how to build, how to work together, and how to use local research. We should not lose this knowledge. We should combine it with modern technology. This is how we can build stronger and better community. At the World Roma Federation, we are now developing new ideas new idea called the Integrated Sustainable Community Development Model. Our goal is not only to build houses, our goal to build better community. Community where family can live safely, where children can study, where women have opportunity, where young people can find job, and where local people can build their own future. Our model brings together many important parts: affordable eco-housing, clean energy, clean water, local farming, community health, education skills, small business, digital technology, and stronger local leadership. All these parts work together. For example, we can use local earth brick to build affordable homes. We can install solar panel to produce clean electricity. We can collect rainwater. We can use clean cooking solution. We can create training center when young people learn new skills. They are not separate projects. They are one community system. We believe that succeed is not only about buildings. It's only about electricity. Real success is when people have better life, when community became stronger, when women, young people became leaders, when local community can continue their own development. This is why partnerships are so important. Government cannot do this in alone. Community cannot do this in alone. International organization cannot do this in alone. We must work together. The World Roma Federation is ready to work with government, the United Nations, civil society, university, and the private sectors. Together, we build pilot community that show sustainable development can improve people's life. Our vision is simple: better community, better opportunity, and better future. Because sustainable development is such a whole only when the community is no one left behind. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Jonas. Thank you for those remarks. Those were great. I'm going to, at this moment, I'm going to invite for some remarks. So in the house this afternoon, we have, well, it's still almost afternoon. This morning, we have the president of Congo. Congo is a conference of NGO in consultative status with the United Nations. So we have the person of the president of Congo in the house who's going to be giving us some remarks. Dr. Peter Preciosis. Come on, please welcome.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. I am certainly pleased to be here with Congo board member Alitayo from DoTheDream. We have another board member in the audience, Rebecca Irby. Very excited about the work that we're doing at Co-NGO here at the High Level Political Forum these past 2 weeks. We've done a soft launch, and I don't know if you've heard about that yet, on a civil society leadership, civil society media desk and Congo Learning Institute. I was just with Dr. Holly Shaw this morning at Hadassah, one of our member organizations, talking with them about how to get more engaged in the work that we're doing. And we had a really interesting conversation about it's overdue now to stop talking and make things happen, to begin to scale up the work of the Sustainable Development Goals. We have released a report this week. We had a parallel event yesterday at the Church Center. I know we have a QR code. You can go on to the Co-NGO website to learn about the survey that we did of our nearly 600 NGOs. I think we had about a little over a 10% response rate to our survey, talking about the work that we're doing, that our NGOs are doing around the world. My NGO that I am the president and CEO of, True Merit, sits at the intersection of migration and health workforce development. And these are really important issues in the world as we look at the resilience and sustainability of health systems worldwide. The ones that power that are the health workforce. And when we talk about health workforce delivery, you can't talk about health workforce policy and delivery without looking at mobility and migration. And these are the things that we work on at our NGO, but at Co-NGO, we're a collective. What we focus on is the work at the intersection of these issues, the intersection of health, gender, social justice, spiritual well-being and healing, climate, migration, displacement. These are really critically important issues. And as we begin to renew and refresh the organization so that it stays relevant into the future, these are issues that we'll be working on. So we look forward to working with all of you, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to come up and present.